Hello, good morning students. In this video today we are going to discuss the next topic in unit 1, data models. What is data model and what is the use of data models? Okay, let me tell you one thing. Can you imagine without a building plan can engineer construct a building? No, not at all. Likewise, to build a database properly by the database engineer or designer needs data model. Okay, so in this video let me clear you some of the things about what is data model, what are the basic building blocks or components of data model, and also the type of data models. Okay, let's start. So what is data model? First topic is what is data model. Actually, the data model is a blueprint of how the database is structured, and data models are the communication tools also. Those are helps in describing the structure of data at a logical level. So first of all, let me tell you about logical level. What is logical level? Logical level are also known as conceptual level, which describes how the database appears to the user and the relationships between various data tables. Okay, and the logical level does not care for how the data in the database is actually stored. And the logical design refers the task of creating a conceptual data model that could be implemented in any DBMS. So what is conceptual? Conceptual represents a global view of entire database as seen by the organization. Okay. So overallly, the databases are communication tool which can facilitate interaction among the designer and application programmers and end users. Okay. So already we know that what is database? Database are nothing but a collection of interrelated tables. Okay. So the data model is a plan or abstraction which describes about the structure of database. That means it contains the details of what are the tables existing in the database and what type of relationships are existing among those tables. All those details to be planned in the data model. Okay, so whenever if you have a plan, it's very easy to implement practically by the engineers. Okay. Likewise, data model plays very important role to design the database structures by the database designers and engineers. Okay. The next topic is the basic building blocks of data model, also known as components of data model. Okay. There are 4 important components are to be implemented in the data model. Okay, so those are entities, attributes, relationships and constraints. Okay, so what is entity? Entity is anything about which data are to be collected and stored. It may be a person, it may be a thing or a place or an event, like that. Okay, for example, if you want to, if you take the employee details. So employee is an entity which contains the employee information, and next one, student. The student entity, what it contains? It contains the student information. Okay, so about which data are to be collected and stored are called as an entity. Okay, simply entity is equivalent to the file systems table or file systems table. Okay, and coming to attribute. What is an attribute? Attribute is nothing but the characteristics of an entity. Okay, so what is the table definition? Table is nothing but intersection of rows and columns and also collection of records. A record is nothing but collection of fields. Here the field is known as an attribute. Okay, which is used to describe the data. table. Okay, so for example, if you take an employee entity which has so many attributes like employee number, employee name, job, salary, department number, like that. If you take a student entity, okay, it has an attributes like student number, student name, marks, Aadhaar number, phone number, okay, percentage, grade, like that. And the next important component is relationship. Okay, so data model uses three types of relationships. So what is a relationship? A relationship is nothing but an association among the tables in the database. Okay. Actually, the type of which type of relationship is existing among those tables depends upon how many number of records in one table relates with how many number of records in another table, which decides the type of relationship existing in between those two tables. Okay, there are three types of relationships are there already. DBMS database is nothing but it contains a collection of interrelated data tables. Interrelated means those tables are to be related to one another. Okay, so those relations are three types: one to many, and many to many, and one to one. Okay, and first coming to one to many, the relationship. Okay, so first of all, before going to discuss all these relationships, just remember some terminologies. Okay, so entity is equivalent to the table. Okay, and also every table contains some of the records. Likewise, entity contains some of the records. Each record in entity is called as entity occurrence. That means table is equivalent to entity, record is equivalent to entity occurrence. Okay, just synonyms. Okay, first coming to one to many relationship. So one to many relationship, what? Okay, in this, one entity occurrence or one record in one entity is relates with many entity occurrences or records in another entity or table. Okay, so what it means, just go through this example to understand clearly the one to many relationship between two tables. Let's take two tables. One is painter and next one is painting table. Okay, in painter table it contains the details about the painters. So what is the relation between those two? The painter paints many paintings and each painting is painted by one painter. Okay, so one more important point you should remember. To determine the exact relationship between those two tables, you must observe the relationship in bidirectional. Okay, just remember this point. Okay, coming to example, painter table contains two painter records. One is 1, 2, 3 and the next one 1, 2, 6. Okay, and coming to the painting table. So painting table contains details about 5 paintings, okay, which are painted by the painters. Okay, first coming to the one to many relationship, the painter number 1, 2, 3 rows. Okay, he painted how many paintings here? 3 paintings. 1, 1, 3, 3, 8 done, and the next 1, 3, 3, 9 painting number, and 1, 3, 4, 1. These 3 paintings painted by the 1, 2, 3 painter. Okay, that means in painter table one record relates with 3 records, many records in the painting table. Okay, this is how the relationship are existing between those two tables in the database. And coming to many relationship. Many to many relationship means more entity occurrences or records in one entity or table or related with many entity occurrences or records in another entity or table. Okay, so what is the example for this? Let us take two entities like employee and skills. Okay, what is the relationship between those two? Employee may learn many skills. Okay, and each skill is learned by many employees. That means many to many relationship existing between the employee and skills entity. Okay, that means so many employee records are related with so many skills records in skills entity. Okay, coming to one relationship. One entity occurrence or record in one entity is related with only one entity occurrence or record in another entity or table. Okay, so what is the example for this? Okay, let us take two entities like manager and store. Okay, or employee or store. Employee manages one store and each store is managed by only one employee. That means one manager, one employee record is relates with one store record and one store record relates with only one manager record. Okay, these are the three types of relationships. And coming to the constraint, what is constraint? Constraints are nothing but restrictions placed on the data. Okay, so these restrictions are very helpful to ensure data integrity. What is data integrity? Data integrity is nothing but correctness of data, always verifiable data. Okay, so constraints are very useful to ensure data integrity in the table. For example, an employee salary must have the values that are between 6,000 and 3,50,000. That means every employee salary, minimum salary 6,000 and maximum salary 3,50,000. Okay, and the student's GPA must be in between 0.002, 0.04 or 4.00 or 10.00, like that. Okay, depending upon our restriction. And each class must have only one teacher and each class should have minimum of 20 students. And each class should have a maximum of 50 students. Okay, likewise just we place some restrictions on the data to ensure correctness of data in the database tables in the database. Okay, so these are the four components which are known as basic building blocks of data model. That means in every data model we are going to represent what are the entities and what are the attributes and what are the relationships and what are the constraints. Okay, that's why this plan will be very useful to the database engineers or database designers to construct the database properly. Okay. Okay, next topic is types of data models. Types of data models. Basically, there are two categories of data models. One is record based logical model and next one is object based logical model. Okay, coming to the record based logical model. When the database is organized in some fixed format of records of several, then the model is known as a record based data model. Okay, and that means it has a fixed number of fields or attributes in each record type and each field is usually of a fixed length. Okay, that type of logical models are known as record based logical data models. There are three types of record based logical models are there. One is hierarchical and next one is network and next one is relational model. And the most widely used record based logical model is hierarchical model. Okay, the fundamental model. The fundamental record based logical model is a hierarchical model. Coming to the hierarchical model. Hierarchical model was developed by IBM in 1960s. Okay, actually at that time there was no system to maintain large amounts of data. That's why in 1960s IBM developed a hierarchical model to manage large amounts of data for complex manufacturing processes such as Apollo rocket that landed on the moon. Its logical structure is represented by the upside down tree. That means in hierarchical structure contains some levels and segments. Segment is nothing but a segment is equivalent to the file system's record type. Okay, and just to see this diagram, it's a final assembly. It's a filling cabinet. That filling cabinet contains so many components: component A, component B, component C. And in order to form the component A, we need assembly A. And for assembly A, you need two parts, part A and part B. It's a tree structure, hierarchical tree structure. Okay, the first, the top segment is known as root segment. Okay, and the next level segments directly beneath the root segment are called as level 1 segments, which are children to the root segment, component A and component B and component C. And coming to next level segments, level 2 segments, assemble A is child to the component A parent segment. Okay, and in turn assemble A becomes parent to the child segments part A and part B. Okay, likewise in tree structure all the data to be maintained in the form of parent and child relationship. And which type of relationship is existing between the parent and a child? Okay, actually and that means one parent contains many childs, but each child contains only one parent. There was no multi-parent support in the hierarchical data model. And hierarchical data model, it is possible to represent only one to many relationship between the owner and owner records and the member records. Okay. And let's see this diagram also. There are some entities which are arranged in the tree structure. College contains several departments, and college has so much of infrastructure. Okay, and department contains so many courses. Department have so many teachers, and department have so many students also. And coming to the course has so many theory classes and so many labs also. Okay, and just you observe, only it supports one to many relationship between the owner record and the member records. Okay, and coming to the advantages of a hierarchical data model, it promotes data sharing. Okay, and also the parent and child relationship promotes data integrity. Okay, integrity means the correctness of data, always verifiable data to be maintained by using the parent and child relationship. And also this type of relationship promotes conceptual simplicity. That means by seeing that we can understand very well, is easy to understand. Okay, and database structure security is provided and enforced by the DBMS. And this hierarchical data model especially efficient with only one to many relationships. These are the advantages. And coming to the disadvantages, the first fundamental disadvantage is lack of standards. Okay, if you implement any system, you must follow some of the standards, but in hierarchical data model lack of standards. Okay, and there is no DDL and DML in the DBMS. What is DDL and DML? DDL and DML are some languages in order to define the structure of database or structure of tables, and also perform manipulations on the data in the database. Okay, so such languages are not were not available in the hierarchical data model. Okay, and also it does not support another type of relationship except one to many relationship. Okay, actually all the relationships are not confined to one to many relationships, but the hierarchical data model supports only one to many relationships. Okay, this is one of the major disadvantage. And complex implementation also, and complex application development, management and use. Okay, and also it exhibits a structural dependency. What is structural dependency? If you make any changes in the structure, requires the changes in all application programs. Okay, so next record based logical model is network model. Coming to the network model, network data model was developed or created to represent complex data relationships more effectively than the hierarchical data model, and this model was created to improve database performance and to impose database standards also. Okay, in network data model, the user perceives the network database as a collection of records in one to many relationship. Of course, unlike the hierarchical data model, the network data model allows a record to have more than one parent. That means it allows a multi-parent feature. Okay, and just see this diagram. Every record can have multiple parents and which composed of sets, and each set has a owner record and the member record. Okay, in this model the member may have several owners. Okay, but member may have several owners, multi-parent. Okay, parental feature to be supported in the network data model. So to improve performance and to impose standards, in 1967, Conference on Data System Languages formed a database task group known as DBTZ. Okay, this DBTZ specified 3 distinct languages for standardization. Okay, first one is data definition language DDL, and second one the subschema DDL, and third one data manipulation language. What is DDL? DDL means data definition language, which is used to define the structure of the schema. Schema is nothing but database. Database is nothing but interrelated tables. Okay, so in order to define the structure of table, we use DDL commands. And coming to subschema DDL means to define the part of the schema, part of the database as seen by the application programmers. So to define the parts of the database, we use subschema DDL. And coming to data manipulation language. Data manipulation language means those commands are used to perform operations on the data in the database tables, like to insert the data, to delete the data, to update the data. Okay, to retrieve the data from the tables. Likewise, all the manipulations to be performed with the help of data manipulation languages. Actually, these components ensures standardization and also improve database performance in the network data model. Now observe this diagram. Okay, here how many entities are there? 6 entities: sales representative and customer, product, invoice, payment and invoice line. So what is invoice? Invoice are nothing but bills. Okay, and what is invoice line? What is the difference between those two? Invoice contains the overall product details, and invoice line contains the details regarding the product name and unit quantity and unit price and total price. That means it contains all the details of the product which are in the invoice bills. Okay. Okay. So coming to here, those records are to be composed of sets. Each set has the owner record and the member record. Okay. Let's observe who are the which entities are acts as owners, which entities are acts as members. Okay. Coming to invoice. So to generate a bill, we need a sales representative and also a customer. Okay. So to generate a bill, already we need a sales representative and also one customer. So here the invoice is a member record, and the sales representative entity and the customer entity both are owner records. Okay, which has a one-to-many relationship between those sets also. Okay, why? Because one customer may generate many bills. Okay, and also one sales representative may take print out many bills like that. Okay, and coming to customer invoice and payment. Okay, so to generate invoice and to make a payment, who will need the customer? The main owner record is customer. So here the customer is the owner record and invoice and payments are the member records. Okay, and invoice line. So invoice line to specify all the details of the products in the bills, we need product and also invoice. So product, invoice are the owners of invoice line member records. Okay. Coming to the advantages, it handles more relationships like many-to-many and multi-parent, one-to-one, all types of relationships supported in the network data model, and data access also more flexible, and in this also owner and member relationship promotes data integrity. And one more important thing was imposed standards, and it includes DML and DDL and DML in the DBMS. Okay, and likewise in hierarchical data model, in this also it has the conceptual simplicity. These are the advantages of network data model. Coming to the limitations, what are the limitations? Here the limitations are no ad hoc query facility. Okay, that means at the spur of moment, when you ask a question, it able to generate the whatever answer you want, but the network system may take some time to generate whatever information you want. Why? Because it's a navigational system. What is navigational system? Okay, so navigational system limits efficiency, system complexity limits efficiency due to navigational system. Why? Because what is navigational system? In order to access a child record, first of all you have to access a owner record. Okay, from that owner record only you can access the child records. It's a navigational system. So system complexity limits and efficiency. Okay. And also navigational system yields complex implementation and application development and management, and it also exhibit structural dependency. That means whenever you make changes in the structure, requires all the changes in the application programs also. And next, more popular and dominant logical record based model was the relational model. Okay, the relational data model was introduced in 1970s by E.F. Code of IBM in its landmark paper. A relational model of data for large shared data banks. Okay. The relational data model represented a major breakthrough for both users and designers. And the relational data model's foundation is a mathematical concept known as relation. Okay. And each relation sometimes called as a table, which is a matrix composed of intersection of rows and columns. Okay. The relational data model is implemented through a very sophisticated relational database management system, RDBMS. Okay. And one more advantages of RDBMS is its ability to hide the complexities of relational model from the user. So all the complexities are hidden from the end user. Okay, all will be managed by the RDBMS itself. And the RDBMS manages all the physical details, while the user sees the relational database as a collection of tables in which data are stored. Okay. The user can manipulate and query the data in a way that seems intuitive and logical. Okay. So in relational data model, the database is nothing but a collection of tables or relations. Okay. So each table is called as a relation. Table is nothing but it's a matrix composed of intersection of rows and columns. It's a two-dimensional structure composed of rows and columns, whatever. And every row is named as a tuple. Okay. Or every record is known as tuple. And the fields are known as attributes. Okay. That means here the table is nothing but the collection of tuples, which consists of collection of attributes. And in this data model, the relationships are maintained between the tables based on the primary key and foreign key relationship. Just listen very carefully. This is very important concept in the relational data model. Okay. How the tables are related to one another. To relate the tables to one another, we require a common attribute. Okay. So the common values in the based on the common values in the common attribute, relationships are to be maintained between those two tables. Okay. And another reason for data models popularity or dominance is its powerful and flexible query language. Okay. That database powerful language is known as SQL, structured query language. Okay, what is structured query language? Actually, all the database languages or the fourth generation languages, those are non-procedural languages. Okay, that means no need to write a lines of code. Okay, and the user need to specify what must be done without specifying how it is to be done. Okay. It's a non-procedural language also. So it's a very important feature in the relational model. So one of the more dominance or popularity and or power behind the relational data model is its flexible query language SQL. So just see this diagram, how the tables are linking with each other with the concept of primary key and foreign key concept. Okay, there are two tables, agent and customer in the insurance company. Okay, so in insurance company, so many employees are there. Each employee is known as agent, and so many of policy holders are there. Those policy holders are nothing but here the customers. Okay. So just observe to link up those two tables, what we need first, a common attribute in those two tables. Okay, that common attribute becomes a primary key in one table and foreign key in another table. Okay, So coming to the agent table, what we have, the attributes, agent code, agent last name, agent first name, agent initial, agent area code, agent phone number also. Okay, so 501, 502, 503, 3 agents are there. Okay, so in customer table, what we have: customer code, customer last number, customer first name, initial, like that, last agent code. Okay, this is the common attribute between the agent table and the customer table. In agent table, agent code is a primary key. In customer table, agent code is a foreign key. What is foreign key? Foreign key is also known as a referential key, which only contains the values in its corresponding primary key table. Okay, primary key. So just you observe what it contains, the agent code in the agent table. The values are 501, 502, 503. So what it contains in the agent code in the customer table, 501, 502, 503. No other value will be existing. Okay, just it contains the values which are in its primary key column only. Okay. To ensure data integrity and also to link up, to establish a link between those two tables. Okay. And what is the relationship between those two? One agent may have so many customers, but each customer belongs to only one agent, like that. Okay. And don't worry, students, in next chapters we discuss these concepts very well. And coming to relational diagram. So relational diagram is a representation of relational databases, entities, attributes, and relationship between those entities. Okay, there are two tables, agent table and the customer table. Just it contains all the fields within the agent table at the customer table, and there is a link between those two tables. Okay, just see this line. Okay, it indicates one to many. So what is the type of relation, which type of relationship existing between the agent and customer? One to many relationship. Okay, this is the relational diagram. And coming to the advantage, first advantage is tabular view. In relational data model, data can be viewed logically in the form of tables, rows and columns. Okay, it improves conceptual simplicity. Okay, thereby promoting easier database design, implementation, management, and also use. And one more important advantage is ad hoc query facility provided in SQL. Okay, and the next one, structural independency. So structural independency means changes in the table structures does not affect data access or application programs. Okay. And one more thing is the powerful RDBMS. Powerful RDBMS abstracts the physical level details from the end user. Just it hides all the physical level details from the end users. Okay. And lessen the complexities. It hides all the internal complexities and offers flexibility of usage to the end user. This is the main advantage. Okay, coming to disadvantages. Okay, so in order to implement the powerful RDBMS software, we need a particular hardware also. So to implement RDBMS software in a system, both hardware and system software are cost effective. Okay, and it ensures complex conceptual simplicity. So everyone able to use this system, everyone learn this system very easily. That's why sometimes if the system used by the untrained people, it may produce some data anomalies found in the file system. Okay, and also if individuals or departments trying to develop their own applications, there may be a chance of islands of information problems. Okay, So these are the disadvantages in the relational data model. And coming to object based data models, the next categorized data model is object based data models. The next category of data model is object based data model. In this object based data model, the focus is on how the data is represented in real world. Okay. In object based data models, the entities are based on real world models and how the data is in real life. There is not as much concern over what the data is as compared to how it is visualized and connected. Okay. Some examples of and in this data model, all the data model we represent those objects as a collection, and there are two types of data models are there. One is entity relationship model and next one is object oriented data model. Coming to entity relationship model, okay. The rapidly increasing requirements for transaction and information created the need for more complex database implementation structures, thus creating the need for more effective database designing tools. Always one important point you should remember, always it's very easier to examine the database structures graphically than to describe them in text. So the database designers prefer to use a graphical tool in which entities and their relationships and attributes are pictured. Okay. The entity relationship model is nothing but it's a graphical model. Okay. So in this, it's a graphical tool in which both entities, attributes and relationships are pictured. And the entity relationship model was first introduced by Peter Chen in 1976. Okay. And in this ER model, the ER model represented by using ERD. ERD means entity relationship diagram. Okay. Let's examine how we are representing the data model graphically. Okay. So the ER model contains some of the components. Those components are to be represented graphically. Coming to entity. So entity, already we know that. What is an entity? Entity is a thing or object which is uniquely existed in the real world. Okay. So the entity or table can be represented by using a rectangle in the ERD diagram. Okay. And the entity name should be written inside the rectangle in capital letters. Okay. Coming to attributes. An attribute is nothing but the characteristics of an entity in ERD. The attribute is represented by the ellipse symbol. Okay. So inside the ellipses you have to write the corresponding attributes of that entity. And relationships. So relationship is nothing but the association among those entities. The relationship is represented by the rhombus symbol. Okay. Actually there are two types of notations in the ER model. One is Chen notation and next one is Crowfoot notation. Okay, so how many types of relationships are existing already? We discussed in the previous slide. One-to-many relationship, many-to-many relationship and one-to-one relationship. Okay, so all these three relationships are to be represented graphically in the Chen notation and Crowfoot notation. Okay, coming to the painter and painting table. Here the painter, painting, there are two entities, okay, which are written inside in the rectangle box in the capital letters. Okay, and what is the relationship between those two paints? So paint is the relationship name written inside the rhombus symbol. Okay, and the labels and those rhombus symbol and rectangles are to be connected by the connector lines. Okay, and the relationship labels like 1M, 1N, MN are to be written next to the rectangle box. Okay, or above the connector lines. Okay, and one to many relationship, and what are the entities, what are the attributes in painter table and painting table? Coming to the painter, painter number, painter name. So all the entities are to be all the attributes are to be connected this rectangle entity in the all the attributes are written inside the rhombus, not rhombus, ellipse symbol. Okay, those symbols are to be connected with the connector lines to the rectangle box. Okay, and coming to many relationship between employee and learn skills. Employee can learn many skills and each skill can be learned by the many employees. Okay, many to many relationship existing between the employee and skills. And one to one relationship, the employee manages one store and each store is managed by only one employee. Okay, coming to Crowfoot notation. Okay, why it was called as Crowfoot notation? Many side to represent the many relationship, it used three-pronged symbol. Just it's look like a crowfoot. That's why this notation is called as a Crowfoot notation. Okay. Advantages. Always visual representation makes it an effective communication tool. Okay, and it gives an exceptional conceptual simplicity. Visual modeling always yields exceptional conceptual simplicity, and this graphical model for only for designing purpose, not for implementation purpose. But to implement this model, it integrated with the dominant relational model. This is one of the advantage. Okay, coming to disadvantages, there are limited constraint representation. Okay, so constraints are not able to represent in this data model, and no implementation model was the disadvantage. Okay. Next object based data model is object oriented data model. In this data model, both data and relationships are represented in a single structure that is called as an object. Okay, this is also called as semantic data models. Semantic data models means it includes more and more meanings. It includes more and more meanings in a single structure as an objects. Okay, and that means each object includes information about the relationship between objects along with the attributes. Okay, and object oriented data model is based on the following components. Already we know that object oriented programming concepts. Okay, class, object, attributes, inheritance, like that. Okay, coming to the object. Here the object is nothing but an entity. Okay, which is equivalent to the ER model entity. And attribute nothing but the properties of an object. For example, if you take an customer object, it includes the attributes like customer identification number, customer name, and customer street, like that. And classes means a class is a collection of similar objects with shared attributes and methods. Okay, and class hierarchy means some classes are organized in a like a tree structure. Okay, for example, a student class and employee classes are there. Okay, that shares a parent class person. Okay, person is the super class and student and employee are the subclasses. Those three classes are to be maintained in the class hierarchy or tree structure. Coming to the inheritance. What is inheritance? Getting the properties of objects of one class to objects of another class. Okay, the person class is a super class which contains some properties. Those properties are to be shared by the subclasses student and employee. That means student and employee entities inherit the properties from the person class. Okay, let's see the diagram. Okay, first just see the right side corner. Okay, the customer and invoice and line. This is the ER model diagram. Okay, ER diagram. The customer generates invoices. So what is the relationship between those two? One to many, and one invoice contains so many invoice lines. So what is the relationship between those two? Invoice and invoice line, one to many. Okay, now coming to the left side corner. Okay, so all this ER diagram details are to be maintained or to be structured in a single structure in object oriented data model. Okay, so first of all, invoice. It contains what object contains? It contains properties and along with its relationship with another entities. Okay, just observe first invoice. So invoice contains some of the attributes like invoice date, invoice number, and invoice ship date, and invoice total, and it has a relationship with two entities. One is customer and next one is line. Okay, so with the customer entity it has the relationship one to many, and with the line it contains the relationship of one to many. Okay, in a single structure all the objects and their entities and their relationship with another entities are to be included in the single structure. So that's why this is called as a semantic data model also. To the advantages of object oriented data model, OO model, semantic content is added, and visual representation includes semantic content, and inheritance promotes data integrity. And coming to disadvantages, slow development of standards, and it's a complex navigational system, and there is a steep learning curve and high system overhead, slows transactions. Okay, these are the disadvantages. Just see the hierarchy of all data models in a single diagram. Okay, those semantic data models from least to most, from 1960s to 2009. Okay, first the fundamental data model for all data models development was hierarchical data model. Hierarchical, and next network, and next relational, and next entity relational shape, and next semantic data models. Those are object oriented and extended relational, known as object relational database management system, and no SQL. Okay, these are the overall view of the hierarchy of data models. And coming to the frequently asked questions, there are two questions in this from this topic. What is data model, and explain components of data model, and also known as basic building blocks of data model. And the second question is what is data model, explain types of data models. Okay, this is an essay question. Students, I think you understand this topic very well. If not, contact me immediately to clarify your doubts if you have any questions. Okay, thank you.